Do you reject the old rose in favor of a new rosebud? Dealing with physical pain. I've been fortunate most of my life not having much pain to deal with, but even a little pain calls my attention. Since I was in my mid 20s, I've had a kind of chronic tension, which is sometimes painful in my mid back and my neck. And if you deal with pain of any kind, I am sharing with you here some of the ways I've used the work of Byron Katie to help deal with the discomfort over the years. Overcoming denial. The first phase of questioning occurred before I ever knew what the work was. I had a concept in mind that I had a perfect body. It was just an idea. Maybe it came from growing up with doctors for parents. Literally, I saw it as a failure to be sick or debilitated in any way. And I took pride in small things like not having any cavities in my teeth. So I had this image of having this perfect body. So when back pain hit me in my 20s, it was a shock. And my first reaction was to deny it, to minimize it, and to not treat it. It took years of not caring for the problem before my thinking slowly turned around and I could admit to myself that I don't have a perfect body. And this was the beginning of looking for support from professionals. Resistance to spending money. Similarly, I held myself back from getting treatment because of the cost involved. Money became a new excuse not to seek out professional help. And because money was never a top priority for me, it put off getting help indefinitely, basically until someday when I had a surplus of money. So, questioning my thoughts about money using the work of Byron Katie has changed that quite a bit. And I've learned to engage with money much better. And it has slowly shifted my attitude towards spending money to be able to seek the help that I needed. Wanting perfection. Another big area of stress related to treating the tension and pain um, that has been there for me has been a desire to get back to the way I was before. I see the images of how pain-free I used to be in my youth, and I don't know how to get there. In fact, with this attitude, no matter what improvements I see through any kind of practitioner or any kind of uh, physical exercises or anything that I've done for myself, it's never quite good enough because I keep comparing it back to that perfectly pain-free state of when I was younger. So this has to do with accepting the aging process and the limitations of having a body. And it's really actually just another form of the denial that I mentioned earlier. I have an image of perfection and I deny anything that messes up that image. So when I start to question that perfection, that need for perfection, then a little bit of openness starts to come in. My work continues on this level today. Just last week, I got a crick in my back, kind of like a crick in your neck, but it was more in my upper back, and I lost a lot of mobility in my neck. And the pain increased a lot, and my stressful thoughts began to swarm again. And so I just started writing down the stressful thoughts, free form. And here are a few of them. I'm not getting better. I want my back to be perfectly healthy. There's something seriously wrong with me. It should be an easy fix. And no practitioners care enough to get to the root of the problem. And it will never be healed. As I've questioned most of these stressful thoughts over the past few days, I notice more acceptance creeping in. And it's an acceptance of the pain and an acceptance of kind of aging, that's just the way it goes. And I'm also finding appreciation for what my body is able to do to keep me healthy. It was interesting questioning just today the thought no practitioners care enough to get to the root of the problem. And I was imagining how I was looking at how practitioners just spend a few minutes with me here and there, and it's just never enough. I need some like long-term uh, approach, and I can't afford it, and practitioners don't want to do that, and all of that. And as I questioned it, I saw once again that this was that desire for perfection. I want to get all the way back to zero pain, 100% youthful, and it's like an attachment to something I have no clue how to do, and maybe it's not ever going to happen. Like, this is just the natural course of aging. It doesn't go backwards, it goes forwards. So so just questioning these thoughts, I'm just sharing this, questioning these thoughts tends to open me, relax me, allow me to be okay with the way things are. Okay, it's not the end of the world. I have some pain. It's not the end of the world. Another layer to unpeel. So acceptance of the pain is one side of it, and the work helps a lot in questioning the thoughts that prevent me from accepting it. But another layer is questioning the thinking that may be causing the pain itself. And this can be a contributing factor. I don't believe that all pain is caused by emotion, not at all. There are physical injuries, there are many things that can cause physical pain that are not caused by any kind of mental, emotional activity. But I do believe that that some pain is caused by emotional and psychological tension, and that it can be a contributing factor to any experience of pain. In fact, a lot of times what happens is there's both physical pain and an emotional kind of pain or tension that makes it worse. And a way to work with emotional and physical tension is to question the thoughts that cause this kind of tension. For example, I believe a part of my pain in my 20s was caused by shame. Really, I felt like I did something shameful, and I felt the serious tension of that in my body. Part of it was also kind of coming from a feeling of like I didn't quite belong. I didn't quite know where home base was. And that caused a certain amount of tension. And I think even today, a certain part of the tension is caused by simply working too hard. And that has its roots in thinking that I need to work that hard. So all of these things can be addressed with the work by simply writing down the stressful thoughts and questioning this. And I've done this, and I continue to take this approach. When I first started doing the work, my pain was much worse. Just questioning the issues in my life softened the tension in my back. Not even dealing with, wasn't even seeing a chiropractor or doing any kind of massage or doing anything like that. I was just questioning my thoughts, and things softened. So I look forward to continuing to do the work on any issues that may contribute to this kind of tension. Who would I be if I didn't believe that I had to work so hard? Who would I be if I allowed myself to just belong? And who would I be if I didn't look on past actions with a sense of shame? I would be freer, more relaxed, and I would probably have less tension in my back and in my less pain as well. So for me, everything is connected. Doing the work on anything can help. And that's why I love to do the work as a daily practice, questioning whatever's coming up for me each day. And I want to encourage you to join us for our next virtual retreat. And in virtual retreats, you always get a chance to do the work on whatever's on your mind. It's a very supportive and caring environment, and you are in the driver's seat in terms of what you would like to work on, how far you go with it, and all of that. So let me end this with a quote from Byron Katie, and this is from her book, Question Your Thinking, Change the World. Your body is not your business. If you need a doctor, go to one. That way you get to be free. Your body is your doctor's business. Your business is your thinking. And in the peace of that, you're very clear about what to do. And then the body becomes a lot of fun because you're not invested in whether it lives or dies.